We're on the record in cause number 325424. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Adrian Hernandez Garcia. Mr. Garcia, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Garcia?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Garcia, Mr. Garcia, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Garcia, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Garcia, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Garcia, the information in this case alleges that on or about March 2nd of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Garcia, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge Mr. Garcia, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Are you pleading guilty because you're guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Garcia, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Mr. Garcia, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Garcia, are these your initials on the line next to a box that's checked guilty?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of the same document, Mr. Garcia, is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, I have another document here. This document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Mr. Garcia, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I have another document here. This document is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature on the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Garcia, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me, State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor, we would.
Any
No
objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Rojas, you advised and counseled Mr. Garcia. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, your attorney, Mr. Rojas, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, I will accept your plea guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
What is that agreement?
The agreement is that for Mr. Garcia to serve 60 days in Jefferson County Jail, however, that time will be probated over 1 year. He will pay a $750 fine, do 60 hours of community service, and also be required to participate in the DWI education and drug and alcohol assessment.
Mr. Garcia, the state is offering that you serve 60 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $1,202. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay $50. Now, the total amount that you would have to pay each month is $185. Mr. Garcia, would you be able to pay the $185 each month?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, you would also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, attend a DWI education class, and have a drug and alcohol assessment. You would also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Mr. Garcia, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Garcia, please follow the bailiff, excuse me. Please step on the X next to your attorney. And once you finish with our court clerk, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
We're on the record at cause number 328104. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Diana Lee Broussard. Ms. Broussard, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Broussard?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Ms. Broussard, I have before me a motion to dismiss. The state is dismissing your case. I'm signing the dismissal right now. And just in a few minutes, you can get your dismissal from our court.
All right. So you're going, I could be around them, right?
Well, you will no longer be, this case is dismissed.
So,
Okay, okay.
Okay, let's see. Okay, should be coming through. It didn't come through?
I don't think her thing is, she need a cartridge, that's why she printing everything from her office. She said she don't
Oh,
have.
that
a
printer over there is messed up. Yeah.
We're back in session with the court's announcement docket and trial docket. We'll now proceed to our bond forfeitures. First case is cause number 325704. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Logan Chase Myers. Mr. Logan Chase Myers was scheduled to be in court for the court's announcement docket at 9 a.m. on today's date of May 26th of 2021. Mr. Logan Myers' name was called by the court's bailiff at the courthouse door at or about 9 a.m. Mr. Myers did not answer. Mr. Myers has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 11:44 a.m. on today's date. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Logan Myers?
Logan Myers. Logan Myers.
I don't see no money. I wonder if they want to.
No response, Ronnie.
I don't see.
Logan Myers' name was just called by the court's bailiff. Again, he has not answered. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Myers an opportunity to appear in court for the announcement docket. He has not appeared. Therefore, his bond will be forfeited and the warrant shall be issued for his arrest. State, do you have any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Logan Myers' bond will be forfeited and the warrant shall be issued for his arrest in cause number 325704.
We don't have one that we.
We're on the record in cause number 326790.
I mean, well.
The case is styled the state of Texas versus Dana Marie Haffer. Ms. Haffer was scheduled to be in court for the court's announcement docket at 9 a.m. on today's date. Ms. Haffer's name was called at or about 9 a.m. by the court's bailiff. Ms. Haffer did not answer, and she has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 11:46 p.m. Excuse me, 11:46 a.m. on today's date. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Dana Haffer?
Dana Haffer. Dana Haffer. No response, George.
Okay. Dana Haffer's name was just called again by the court's bailiff at the courthouse door. Ms. Haffer did not answer. Ms. Haffer has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. However, Ms. Haffer's attorney, Ms. Lori Perazzo, did appear via Zoom. A reasonable time has passed to give Ms. Haffer an opportunity to appear in court. She has not appeared in court, therefore, her bond will be forfeited when a warrant shall be issued for arrest. State, you have any objections?
State has no objection, Your
Okay.
Honor.
No objections from the state. Ms. Haffer's bond will be forfeited and the warrant shall be issued for arrest in cause number 326790. And this will conclude the calling of both the court's announcement docket and the trial docket on today's date of May 26th of 2021 in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence L. Holmes presiding.